Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelorette Recap, a guy's review. We've got Michael A. He went on the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast to talk about his experience on the show. So we will share some of those clips. The title here, The Bachelorette's Michael sought approval from late wife's parents before joining the show. The Bachelor contestant's late wife, Laura, died from breast cancer in 2019. The story is super heart-wrenching. I made a video yesterday, and I'm not going to lie. It took me every ounce of energy to not cry during the video. I cried afterwards. How could you not? To think you find your person, you find your love, and then forces out of your control take that away from you. It reminds us to live every day like it is our last and to treat others as if they are a gift to us. Because we are. We're all a gift here. Okay, be a gift. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Oh boy, I sound cheesy, but I appreciate it. It's what you can do for me. Subscribe. And if you want extra bonus content, go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. You can get all that over there. So let's jump into this. Saw this meme on Reddit. Oh boy, does Reddit love Michael. To warm my head, to warm my feet, to warm my hands, to warm my heart. Michael A. The heart warmer, Michael himself. A lot of people have said, man, if he doesn't win this thing, you better make him the next Bachelor. And I understand that's what we do when we love somebody. We're like, yeah, we want him to be. It's like, maybe he doesn't. Maybe the show's not for him. Maybe he's a gem and we need to protect him from the show. We'll have to see. Maybe he makes it on. And whatever the case may be, let's check this out. So he spoke with the ladies of the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast. I'll play two clips. This first one, Michael A. believes the opportunity to go on the show on The Bachelorette was a sign from his late wife. So let's just listen to this one. And there we go.
Casting did really good. Can you please do more of these?
Yes.
Guys, please. If you sought him out, you can do it again. Try and seek this type of man all the time.
Michael, you are setting the bar extremely high. Extremely high.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange because I really didn't watch this show too much. My wife loved it. And so when production reached out to me, it was really right around my wife's 2-year anniversary. So it's like you're always looking for signs, right? And this one just was so obvious. This is funny too. And I know everybody's got to go, but
you're fine.
Oh yeah, this is a funny one too. So this is a true story. So even before cancer hit our life, like when we got married, Laura would watch this show and she would basically say, you know, we should get like a fake divorce. You go on there, like you can go your thing, and then you come back to me, you know. So it was something she had like in her head, and when this opportunity to pursue this came up, I couldn't help but hear her kind of telling me to do it. And yeah, it's really, really amazing. I feel like I've been able to grow and take a lot from it.
Look at their faces.
Whatever happens.
Okay,
Becca.
Michael, you have been one of the most interesting, profound, just like incredible people that we have had on this podcast.
It's still too early to take compliments here.
No, I'm saying it now. I'm going to say now, you know, if it's something that you would want, I'm going to say Michael A. for Bachelor. I'm just putting it out there in the universe.
Wow.
But yeah, it has been so great chatting with you. Thank you so much. I hope that this isn't the last time that we will have you on or be able to have a conversation with you. But you have been such a joy this morning. So thank you.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for having me and keep your head up, keep smiling, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Wow. Look at that. Becca Kufrin wants Michael to be the Bachelor. Be careful, Becca. You might want to keep him for yourself. If we jump ahead here to, there's already a thread saying Becca and Michael are giving me vibes on Bachelor Happy Hour. So, well, you know, how funny was that? Let's go back to this. I'll play one more clip for you guys, but look at the attention that these ladies are paying Michael right now. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm the same way. I'm just like, Michael. Because, look, you know, they were right. He set the bar high. You know, and hey, don't get me wrong. We could have projected, you know, some story comes out. He's a gambling addict. He's doing meth and no, that's not the case. We don't know. We really don't know, you know. But so far, he's been great. And he's like, don't give me that much credit. So maybe episode 4, he just goes on some tirade. I don't think that'll be the case. I think he's the real deal. I mean, of course, he was a family man. He was a dad. His family was, you know, starting, and he had only said I love you to his wife. And, you know, she, of course, went into remission. Last video I played yesterday, they ring the bell. You know what I mean? You ring the bell in the hospital, which means like I beat cancer. Months later, she finds out she didn't and passed away. Tough story for him to share it with Katie Thurston. I mean, if you're watching last episode and you're not tearing up, hugging your loved ones, you got to get a reality check. Are you human? What are you doing over there? Jeez. So they're over there like, oh, and I get it. I understand. And everyone says, like, oh, I'm shipping, right? I stan, or whatever these Generation Z, whatever they're saying, they say that, like, oh, we see a connection and people want to put clues together. Well, Jason went on the show after being dumped in Thailand by Becca, Kufrin, or wherever it happened. He went on Caitlin Bristow's show before they'd ever met. And look at them now. You know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe there's something there. Who knows, folks? All right, let's play one more clip here. This next clip I'll play. And by the way, you can watch the whole thing. It's all on YouTube and podcast apps. Michael on his decision to join The Bachelorette and how he avoided drama. So let's talk about avoiding drama. Let's see. Is it possible to avoid drama on the show?
Actually watching it back now.
Hold on. Let me just rewind this a tiny bit. All right, here we go.
It was a few months ago. So, you've kind of now gone back to your daily life. So how has it been knowing like what you went through versus actually watching it back now?
Yeah, it's really funny how life changes. You can plan as much as possible, but sometimes, life kind of takes the wheel. And for me, I never applied for this. It was never something I had in my, plan whatsoever. And producers reached out to me. And originally, when you go through this process, you've seen it unfold so many times over how many seasons. And at first, all I saw was really like downside risk. That's just kind of how I, think. And it was one of those things where it was, 2019 was very difficult. 2020 was really difficult. And it felt like a perfect time to, bet on myself, take a risk, get outside of my box, and try to find some ways to grow and find love and find kind of missing piece in my life that's, really so vital.
Mm-hmm.
Did someone sign you up? Did
No.
someone put you up? How did they find you?
Yeah, so they reached out to me via Instagram, and producers reached out, and at first, really just downside risk. Didn't seem like it was really something I hadn't thought about whatsoever. And as I started to give it a little bit more thought, it seemed like a perfect time to take some risk, bet on myself, kind of get outside of the box. And crazy enough, I actually said no to it twice. Not because I didn't, believe in it or one thing or the other. It was just, is this how I want to go about finding that missing piece? And I mean, it's such an absurd idea, but it's a really kind of beautiful thing too. And I'm 37, so definitely like the old dude on the show. There's, but I will say our guys, the cast, they're amazing. They're really some people with some good character that are out there. And I wasn't the only one kind of leading them. They were leading me throughout this whole entire thing. Because you need to be able to have that kind of support. It's just a crazy experience. And, I really can't wait to see how the whole season goes.
Well, this, as it pertains to this past week's episode, it was like watching, I'm glad that you say that you could see that there was a lot of good guys, but you were like a man amongst boys at some point. It was clear that you were eloquent. It was clear that you were vulnerable, that you were mature, and that you knew what you wanted. I mean, I think at one point you said, I wouldn't be, I would leave if it wasn't enough for me, because you have so much at stake and you have a lot waiting for you. But watching the episode and seeing you and your demeanor, but at also times, which was really funny throughout the drama, what I witnessed was your facial expressions were really cute, because you were so unaware of drama, and they show you like looking around being like, I don't know what's going on, but very innocent. It was very cute. So anyways, but you were a man amongst boys.
Thank you so much. I really didn't understand the drama most of the time. I'm, part of it was that, I don't know, at this point in my life, you really don't need to create problems for yourself. There's life will give them to you and you adjust to them naturally. So not to say that there weren't significant issues that, were brought up and things that needed to be addressed. But part of me is always like, why don't you just like say you're sorry and we can kind of move on to the next thing. And it's really also very weird watching yourself on TV. I mean, every time I'm on, I kind of forget that I'm watching, something that really unfolded, but I just want to hide. It's so strange, but yeah. And those guys that were on there, I think it's easy to get caught up in the emotions of the moment. You got to see the larger picture, like remember the reason why you're actually there. And I think part of it too is trying to find ways of being sympathetic to Katie and being at that post. There's a lot of emotions that go into it, and any sort of added level of emotion and negativity can have this rippling effect across the entire house and the entire experience. So we're not just reacting in responding to our own emotions and our own experience, but also have to take into account other people's too, including cast and also, most importantly, Katie.
What a good interview. What a good hearted man. She calls him a man amongst boys. Very interesting that he says producers reached out to him via Instagram. You have to think that the producers that somebody must have nominated him. I mean, how do the producers know him? What do they? I mean, unless they know him from like local news. He wasn't a national name. His story was tragic and is tragic and all that. But he doesn't have a big social media following. So I wonder how they actually got a hold of him. Either way, they're looking for good, unique stories. So kudos to the producers for finding this guy. Kudos to him for saying no twice, but understanding, hey, you know what, this opportunity comes around but once in a lifetime, and why not take it? So he bet on himself. He took a risk. I encourage everyone out there to bet on yourselves and take a risk. What we saw from his story yesterday was that he's all about turning tragedy into something positive. Of course, tragedy, tragic events, there's a lot of dark and negative energy there. It's very powerful. How do you parlay that into a positive? How do you spin that so that whatever bad thing that happened, you're able to make good of it? Planting a tree in memory of a bad issue. Symbolically speaking, you're adding to the world versus taking away. He could live this world saying, woe is me, why me? Why have you done this to me? How could this happen? And fall in a dark place. But instead he's saying, this senseless, horrible cancer that took away the love of my life, I can't get back, but I can breed and give more positivity into the world. And we need more people like that. Absolutely more people like that. So anyhow, that's Michael A. He's to be cherished. He's to be protected at all costs. In Bachelor Nation, we appreciate you and we're looking forward to see how the rest of the season goes. Hey, maybe Becca Kufrin might slide into your DMs. If you say no twice, we know that Michael says yes on the third time. So keep on asking there, Becca. All right, folks, that's the episode. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye now.